Good evening, everyone. I'm Osiris Munir, your show host for 15 Minutes the Show. Now, as most of you know out there, we have a really serious pandemic called COVID-19. So, from now on, henceforth, until we all get some clarity about what we can do to stay safe, continue to be safe and stay healthy, we're going to be doing 15 minutes a little bit differently. First of all, we're going to continue to still talk to you about entertainment, arts, and culture. We will be talking about iconic guests, iconic artists, emerging artists from both behind the scenes and in front of the camera. A little bit of specialty for those of you that like astrology. I'm going to talk a little bit about astrology, just a teeny weeny bit about a sun sign. But for those of you that are serious in the subject of astrology, you know that the sun sign is something that we grow into, and the rising or the ascending sign is how we're viewed outside in the public and in our personal worlds. So, let's get rolling here. For today, I want to talk about my man, my brother in the cause, Mr. the one and only Kurtis Blow. Hey! So, for those of you who don't know who Kurtis Blow is, he is one of the founders and creators of recorded rap. Kurtis blazed the trail for early hip-hop artists and continues to carry the torch for hip-hop music and take it to a whole nother level. Kurtis is credited with many accolades and was the first rapper to ever be signed to a major label, release a certified gold rap album, tour the United States, Europe, record a national commercial Sprite, use a drum machine, sample and sample loop, release a rap music video, and become a millionaire, all at the tender age of 20 years old. In 1979, Kurtis became the first rapper to be signed by a major label. He released Christmas Rappin, which sold over 400,000 copies and became an annual classic. Its goal to follow up the breaks helped ignite an international rap attack, solidifying a new art form. He released 10 albums over 11 years, and his early projects made him an instant success at home and across the seas in Europe. Pioneering records like Party Time introduced a fusion of rap and party go-go. Hit songs like 8 Million Stories, AJ, and We're Doing Basketball were simply ahead of their time. But most importantly, all of Kurtis's recorded music, his productions, get spins from DJs all over the world. Fellow rap legend Nas debuted at #1 on the Billboard Charts in 1997 with Kurtis's If I Rule the World. Beyond his own hits, Kurtis contributed to the success of the Fat Boys, Run DMC. As a matter of fact, Run titled himself and called himself on the tour the son of Kurtis Blow. That's how strong this brother was in his influence. He was influential and still is. Among countless others, Wyclef Jean, Love Buck Starsky, Sweet G, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, Full Force, and even Russell Simmons have all been produced or have worked with Kurtis in the past. Kurtis's multidisciplinary skill sets has taken him across the country and overseas to score, produce, and act in various films. Most notably, he played a large role in the production of Krush Groove. Remember Krush Groove, you guys? The New York Daily News called his cinematic work noteworthy and a dynamic presence. Kurtis Blow's reach transcends that of your typical entertainer. He has completed multiple world tours since the turn of the new millennium and continues to work on other creative endeavors. His innate ability to touch the hearts and reach people is evident in his work as an activist, radio personality, and most recently, check this out, an ordained minister and leader of the hip-hop church. Artists still pay their respects to Kurtis, trailblazing in a number of ways. His influence has been mentioned in seemingly every important hip-hop film in the past decade. From Get Rich or Die Trying, The Notorious and straight outta Compton. He has a prominent presence on television as well, with his music appearing in shows like Dancing with the Stars and SportsCenter. He also is an associate producer on the Netflix series The Get Down. New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio appointed the hip-hop pioneer to the new Nightlife Advisory Board in 2018. Kurtis continues to advocate on behalf of music, venues, clubs, digital recordings, live recordings, and he continues to shape the influence in the industry, and this time at a policy level. Kurtis Blow was born a Leo, and what more than a Leo could do as the king, but be the first. After all, Leo is the king. All right, we're back, and guess who our next hip-hop iconic artist is? Some of you would have heard of him if you were back in the day and you knew anything about hip-hop spoken word. My man, Gilbert Scott-Heron, otherwise known as Gil Scott-Heron, the master poet. He was an American soul and jazz poet, musician, and author, and he is known most for his work as a spoken word performer in the 1970s and the 80s. He is most noted for his collaborative work with Brian Jackson, which featured a musical fusion of jazz, blues, and soul, as well as the lyrical content concerning social and political issues at the time. I believe if you lived a little while, you might remember the revolution will not be televised, but COVID-19 is. He is considered to be a bluesologist, which he defined as a scientist who's concerned with the origin of the blues. His music, most notably on the albums Pieces of a Man and A Winter in America in the early 70s. If you remember, I believe it went something like this. And now it's winter, winter in America. So, he is considered by many to be the first rapper, the first MC ever. His recording work received much critical acclaim, especially one of his best-known compositions. Like we talked about, the revolution will not be televised. All Music's John Bush calls him one of the most important progenitors of rap music, stating that his aggressive, no-nonsense street poetry inspired a legion of intelligent rappers, while his engaging songwriting skills placed him square in the R&B charts later in his career. Scott-Heron remained active until his death in 2010, and he released his first new album in 16 years entitled I'm New Here. We have a copy of the album and his new CD that he produced at that time. The Last Holiday was published posthumously in January 2012. He received a posthumous Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award in 2012. He is also included in the exhibits at the National Museum of African American History and Culture, otherwise known as NMAAHC, that officially opened in September 24, 2016. On the National Mail and in an NMAAHC publication called Dream a World Anew. Heron was born in April. I believe he was born on April 1st, April Fool's Day. He's a Ram. And I tell you something, who but the Ram could be a leader, could start it off, take the lead and keep it going, and then everyone else follow. That was Gil Scott-Heron. If you look at the man's face, he even has his head is shaped like a ram. He was powerful, still is powerful, and we miss him dearly and will always remember him. And that's been another 15 Minutes to Show. You guys know I got a channel on YouTube, so please subscribe to my channel. Please subscribe to my channel. Also, the show today is being filmed by Nirvana of Hollywood Studios. And please subscribe and support artists, all over the world, upcoming, emerging, iconic. We're all artists in our own right. And it's been another 15 minutes to show. See you next time. And don't forget, stay safe, be safe. COVID-19 is real, people. Take care of yourselves and those you love. Bye-bye for now.